In a world where more and more financial, insurance, and investment advisors, business owners, and entrepreneurs are struggling to keep it together due to the pressures around them, I wanted to create an experience that sets out to answer one question. How can I inspire you to live a level 10 experience in the four core areas of life of faith, family, fitness, and finance, and connect to a deeper level with yourself, your family, and your business? I am your host, Daniel Hanzelka, and welcome to the Reset Warrior podcast. So welcome to the first episode of Reset Warrior. This is the first episode, and it has really taken over 5 years to make. Well, something has changed last week. I hired a high-performance coach, Simon Lowell. He helps entrepreneurs and business owners and really helps them to achieve super performance in their life and in business. And I literally met Simon last week, hopped on a call with him, and he shared with me some of the things that he was doing. And it really inspired me to hire him to really help me to reach that next level of life that I'm after. And on this podcast, what I'm going to be sharing is my journey. And hopefully, my journey will inspire you to become a high performer in your life in the four core areas of life. So I am here in a beautiful Keswick, Ontario, and we have experienced some crazy times over the last 6 months with COVID-19 shutting down the economy, so that in this moment right now, we're in the middle of things. So maybe when you're listening to this, we are beyond this and all of this is over right now. But as I've mentioned right now, we have faced some crazy happenings that are happening right now. And this podcast is definitely a calling to be of service to you and bring inspiration and motivation to other people. Maybe you're going through something right now. Maybe there are some things that are holding you back and you're stuck. Well, in this episode, I wanted to share with you a bit of my journey, how really everything started. How did I come up with the Reset Warrior name? And what is this really all about? And I want you to know that right now I'm living an amazing life. And it's not life that is perfect, because I think by now you know that it will never be perfect. But we just all handle things differently in how we look at things. And we all have different timelines. And I want you to remember that whatever you're going through right now, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. And through the episodes, I'm going to share with you some of the things that I have gone through, all the way from when I was growing up, my parents going through a divorce. I lived in a communist country in Czechoslovakia under communism. We ran away, we defected, literally middle of the night. We grabbed our stuff when we were on a vacation and put it into somebody's car that was going to pick us up the next day. Listen, I still remember when really, I was on a trip in India and I was in a process of being kidnapped. Or I remember the times where I was going through a complete anxiety attack a few years back, when a paycheck of $250,000 that was supposed to come to us has turned into a $500,000 financial loss that we have experienced. And I just want you to know, it doesn't matter what you're going through right now. What really is important is that you recognize that you're on a journey, and everything that has happened to you in the past, whatever you're going through right now, is just perfect. And I don't want you to think about that I'm happy with all the things that have happened, that I'm happy with the loss, the financial loss with my parents going through divorce. But what I want you to think about is just the whole idea that we have the option today, right now, to change how we live our life, to change what we're doing. And really, this podcast is that journey that I have been on. As I've mentioned, this episode, and it's the first episode that I have put together, has been 5 years in making. It has literally taken me 5 years to get the courage and to really go and put it out there and do it consistently. And what I really want to do is really share with you today, what does it really mean to live level 10 experience in the four core areas of life? So what I want to do on this podcast, as I mentioned, I want to inspire you, and not just to talk to you. I really want to give you information that will help you to really start putting your life and start living the life and start living your life on purpose. So what do I really mean about the 4 core areas of life? I personally believe that everything we're going through, everything we're doing can really be fit into 4 core areas of life. And they go as this: faith, family, fitness, and finance. And what I mean by faith, it's not necessarily a religious thing. For me, it is. I do have a relationship with God. But often when I talk about faith to someone, what's really important, and there is really this saying that I often say, that there is 2 of the most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you find out your purpose. And I do believe that we all have a purpose. We all have a reason why we're here. For me, it's to learn the truth, live the truth, and to share the truth. And this podcast is all part of that. And over the last few years, I have been hiding. And again, this is what working with Simon has allowed me to do, is to actually come out. And I want to encourage you, to really be a warrior, to be a king, to be the man, and if there's women that are listening to this, the woman that you really want to become, and that you know you are destined to become, because you already are that person. Everything that you need is already inside of you. So I really want to encourage you. I want you to know that we all, as I've mentioned before, are on different journeys, but really what it comes down to, when it comes down to faith, it's really knowing, what is your purpose? Why are you here? Why are you on this earth? And this is a question that I have gone through, and I'm still on that path, because I don't believe we truly get a full understanding of it, but it's a growing process. And again, I'm not trying to hold it back, that you will never find out exactly what it is, but I am still on that journey. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say with that. When it comes down to family, it's really all about the relationships that you have. I have been now married for over 25 years with my queen. We have 2 beautiful kids. They're not kids anymore, they're adults, Nathaniel and Michaela. And I just want you to know that family is all about the relationships that you have. And there are some relationships that maybe you don't have that great of a relationship with that. And there is a way how to start and rekindle those relationships, or it might be family members or friends. And I think right now, through everything we have gone through COVID, it's a perfect opportunity to start reaching out to some of those people that maybe you right now are thinking about, that maybe you need to reach out. And it's yourself telling yourself that maybe you need to go and do this. When it comes down to fitness, again, I'm not going to go deep into the story, but 10 years ago, and it is 10 years ago right now, my whole family has gone through a transformation. In 2006, I was 260 pounds, where in middle of 2011, I was all the way down to 170 pounds. I lost over 90 pounds. And I will have to tell you, when it comes down to the health, we only have one health. And I never thought that I could go and get below, 210. I thought if I get down to 210, that would be like, wow. Yet we don't really fully understand how incredible our bodies are and what we are able to do with our bodies. And I want you to consider the fact, and I'm just on a journey right now, I'm going to share with it a little bit more in later episodes, working with Simon, that I am pushing myself beyond where I've ever gone before. And really this podcast is to help you, to encourage you that experiment with what it is that you're doing and where you are going, and see how far and how deep you can really go and take and become a different version of yourself. Because right now you are in your life at a certain level, and to get to the next level, the current person, like for me, the current Daniel right now, has to die. All of my habits right now, all of the way how I do things literally has to die in order for me to become this new person, this new creation. And I want to encourage you that we are all on this journey. And I want you to think about this, that you can go out there and accomplish anything. As I mentioned, I'm going to share a little bit more about health, but I've just started following Wim Hof. He's called the Iceman, where he climbs mountains in his, literally in his shorts in middle of winter when it's below and freezing outside. He goes for swims in cold water. He has gone under ice, and I'm following his breathing techniques. And I was holding my breath kind of to establish a baseline for about a minute. And literally, I thought, if I don't breathe, I'm going to die. And I thought, wow, a minute, I can hold my breath for a minute. But going through his exercises, I'm able to hold my breath for 2.5 minutes. So I want you to think about this when it comes down to, health, when it comes down to fitness. Your body is able to do things that you have never imagined, you have never thought about that it can do. And that's really what we're going to be exploring here. And part of it is just sharing my journey, what I have been doing and where am I at. And when it comes down to finance, this is all about business. Now, my business right now is helping financial advisors to grow and scale their practice, to really become masters of their business. I myself, I'm a financial advisor of 25 years. From the perspective of often when I describe it, most of those years was more like 1 year experience, 18, 25 times over from the perspective of what has been happening, because I did not understand the fact that when it comes down to finance, it's not just about you become a better technician, you becoming a better financial advisor. And I thought for me, getting my CFP designation was the thing that's going to change my business and becoming a better advisor and studying more. But that's not so. In order for you to run a successful business, you need to recognize that if you're the best advisor that is out there, but nobody hears about you, doesn't really matter. It's kind of like you can have the most beautiful billboard, but if it's in the middle of the desert where nobody goes by it, or if it's middle of the Amazon jungle where nobody can really see it, it doesn't really matter. So when it comes down to finance, we will be talking about all the different things for you as a financial advisor, business owner, entrepreneur can really grow and become the advisor that you want to become. So from that perspective, 4 core areas of life. One of the biggest things that I want you to take away from this recording today is just the fact that as we go on in our lives, we are all juggling these 4 balls. So I want you to imagine you're juggling these 4 balls. And there is faith, family, fitness, and finance. And unfortunately, it's very difficult to keep on juggling these 4 balls. And at some point, one of them might drop. And you know what? It might be in a family, it might be a divorce. It might be an illness. It might be a financial loss in the business. It might be just not really knowing when it comes down to faith, why are you here and what's going on, and having thoughts of ending it all. I have talked to a lot of people, advisors that have said they're on the verge of committing suicide because of situations that they were in. But I want you to think about this. As we are juggling all of these balls, 3 of them are made from glass and one's made from rubber. The finance is made from rubber, where if you drop your finance, something happens, it will bounce back. It is not as important as we put our lives into. And I have been guilty of this myself, where I thought that the finance is the most important part. And I've seen what devastation can happen if a business owner, if an advisor, entrepreneur goes out there and only devotes himself to the finance, then they don't know their kids. Their marriage breaks down. Like, what's the point? So I want you to think about this. The 4 core areas of life, the most important one are really your faith, your family, and your fitness. They're made from glass. Okay, think about it, from crystal. You have to take care of those. And you have to pay special attention to them, because if one of those breaks, as I've mentioned, you can go through a divorce. When you lose your health, so many business owners are really sacrificing their health to go out there and make money so that when they retire, they spend all of their money getting their health back. Well, what if there is a different way of doing this? And this is really what this whole podcast is all about. How do we become and live our life at a 10 level? in all of those areas. How do we go at a much deeper level of impact? Because you can go deeper inside of you. To go deeper now, it will take, again, as I've mentioned before, a different version of yourself. Now, again, this can take years, and it has taken me years to get to the level where I'm at. But what if we can shorten the gap? And what if you can learn certain things that can take less time? And this is ultimately what we do, helping advisors, helping them to shorten the time, how fast they can get in front of their ideal clients. And there are certain steps that we need to follow. But what if you can live your best life as quickly as possible? And really, at the end of the day, we have a choice to either lead or not to lead. So I want you to think about this. You have an option right now, if you are listening to this, to start to commit your life to living on purpose, to living more consciously, to whatever decision you're making, to really be conscious about the decisions that you are making, and being able to just live your life at your full level. Now, as I shared with you, this has been a journey for me, and the Reset Warrior brand, I've started this brand about 5 years ago, and I have been using excuses not to kind of use it, not to talk about it. But Reset Warrior, what it really stands for is every single day we wake up, we have the option to hit the reset button. Every single morning, we are able to completely redesign our life. We don't have to live by default. A lot of people out there, especially right now, are sheeple. They just follow whatever they're being told. And that is not the life that I want to live. That is not what I want to do. And I want to encourage you to not to live that life. And if this really resonates with you, I want to encourage you to engage, listen to the other podcasts, listen to what we're going to go and talk about and go in deeper into this. Reach out to me. So, today, I think from the perspective of where we are right now, I just want to encourage you that you're not by yourself. There are others that are on the journey, and I am here to really help you. So I want to thank you for listening to this first episode. For me, to sharing the intentions for what I'm going to be doing with this. Again, thank you for being in here. I hope that you will tune in. I'm just going to make this, more fun. And I would love to hear your feedback. If this kind of resonated with you, if you enjoyed the first episode, I want to encourage you to go, if you're on iTunes or wherever, give me a feedback, an honest feedback. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, it's Daniel Hanzelka. If you want to connect with me on Facebook or send me a message, let's connect. So, I appreciate you to really joining me on this journey, and I want to just help you to, commit to, really growing for yourself so that we can impact the people around us. I personally believe that we live in a time where it's unprecedented what we are able to do if we just choose to go out there and live a different life. So, you know what? If you just want to comment for you starting on the journey, where you are at, one of the things that I really want you to do is think about that you are not alone, and that, take the moment to really think about this. What is it that you want to achieve? Where do you want to go? I want to encourage you. And at the same time, I want to pat you on your back for the fact that you are listening to this and that you want to grow and you want to become more purposeful. You want to become more of a leader of who, wherever you are in your life. So I will see you on the next episode. Thank you for listening to the show. If you want to find out more how you can grow yourself, be true yourself, and operate more at a conscious level to be more of a conscious entrepreneur, conscious business owner, you can go and learn more about me on resetwarrior.com. And I will see you next time.